Hello, this is Stephen Ricks with the Lodi Community Action Team. Today we're going to go through a little bit of the results that we've received from the Youth Risk Behavioral Survey, or as we like to call it, the YRBS. This is a survey that is given every 2 years and it's administered to kids that are in the grades of 6 through 12, so it's both middle schoolers and high schoolers. It's given to all school districts in Columbia County, so that's very nice. We can compare our statistics, our local statistics here in Lodi with our county. In addition to that, there are many, many schools that take it at the state level and at the national level, so we can compare our results at the state and national area as well. Before we really get into it, I want to go through a little bit and talk a little bit about why we use percentages versus numbers. Percentages allows us to track the same results year after year, or every 2 years we get to see the same results, no matter how many kids are enrolled or how many kids take that test. It also allows us to see how well we do against other schools. So that's why we stick with percentages. We don't really look with numbers. The other thing that if you focus on numbers it does for you is it gives you a false sense of how either severe the problem is or how non-severe the problem is. You know, and it's easy to look at these percentages, and if I tell you that there's 100 seniors and that 10% of them are, tweeting every day, it's easy to say, well, that's only 10 kids. And that's not really what we want to do. We want to see how the trend changes over time. So that's why we always look at percentages and not at numbers. The other thing that we get to do here in Lodi, and since we have such an active community action team and there's a lot of information that's out there, we work to collect a lot of this different information. So at the same time we administered the YRBS, which was last November, so November of 2013, the kids took it, but in September of 2013 we put out a survey to the community, and it was done through the school district. So parents of kids who were in the school districts all got a copy of the survey. They were all able to fill that out and turn it in to us. At the same time, we hired a company who went out and found 500 families in the Lodi area who did not have kids in the schools. And we collected all that information back, and we got about 600 surveys that we're able to compare with the student surveys. So not only do we know what kids are doing and what they feel that they're doing, but we know what parents think their kids are doing as well. So that's really great information. We also then work with the schools and the principals to compare disciplinary records with survey results so that we can see if the same trends are happening. Take bullying, for instance. If a certain percentage of kids said that they're being bullied, do we have records that back that up? And if not, why not? We do the same thing with police records and EMS data as well, so we get to look at a wide spectrum of this data. So let's get into it. Let's look at the first set of data, and this is one that I'm going to show you trends on, and we'll just look at this really quickly. But if you look at, we go all the way back to 2005 with good data, and you can see that our trend in all grade levels is going up. So the blue is 7th graders, the green is 9th graders, and the gold is 11th graders. And you can see there in 2005, at the left hand of the chart, 89% of 7th graders said that they had not had a drink of alcohol in the last 30 days. That's a really great number. But if you look over at the right side and you see 2013 numbers, that's up to 98% of 7th graders say they have not had a drink in the last 30 days. That's awesome. We've made a lot of progress, and we really like that. Same thing in 2005, 9th graders in the green, 68% said they had not had a drink of alcohol in the last 30 days. In 2013, that number is up to 82%. Again, great looking statistic. 2005, 11th graders in gold, 54% said they had not had a drink of alcohol in the last 30 days. That's up to 58% in 2013, but you'll see there in 2011 it was actually up to 63%. So we've taken a little bit of a dip here. We won't be too concerned about it until we get to the next survey in 2015. If that dip is still going down, then that's a downward trend, and we don't like seeing that. But if it goes back up, then it's just an anomaly. You can kind of see the results of this if you look at the 9th graders there in green. In 2009, 78% said they had not had a drink in 30 days. That dropped to 76% in 2011, but then went back up again to 82%. Now, what's interesting here is that The 9th graders in green in 2011 are the 11th graders in gold in 2013. So that age group, that group of kids, took a little bit of a dip for some reason, which we can't really tell from the survey why, but it's an interesting survey, and we'll hope to see that those numbers go back up in the next year. This is a question that we asked of middle schoolers. This is prescription drug use. It says, during the past 30 days, on how many days did you take a prescription drug such as Oxycontin, Percocet, Vicodin, codeine, Adderall, Ritalin, or Xanax without a doctor's prescription? So these are kids that said they had never done that. In the past 30 days, they did not take a single prescription drug without a prescription from a doctor. In 2011, that number was 92.2%, or sorry, 91.2%. It's up to 94.6%. So that's saying that these are the kids that are not taking prescription drugs without a prescription. Now, if we ask the same question of our high school students, in 2011, that was 85.7. It's up to 89.8. So that's really, really good. Now, if you look at the inverse of this, or if we look at the same question, so did you take a prescription drug without a doctor's prescription? These are kids that said on all 30 days they did. So these are kids that I would say are addicted. They need these drugs for some reason, and they don't have a doctor's prescription, but they are taking them anyway. So in 2011, that was 4.6%. That's down to 2.1%. So we cut that in half, which is really great. And we got to keep working on that, because that's a problem area, but we're moving in the right direction. If you look at marijuana usage, now this question was only given to high schoolers. It says, on how many occasions, if any, have you used marijuana during the past 30 days? See there in 2011, 0 times, so they have not used marijuana in the past 30 days. That was 72.6%. That's up to 82.0% in 2013. That's great. Almost 10% we went up of non-usage, which is awesome. Kids that said they had used it 40 times in the last 30 days, in 2011 it was 4.6%, but that's down to 2.1% in 2013. So again, wow, just incredible progress. We're cutting that in half. So we like seeing those numbers. We still have some work to do, but that looks really, really good. In middle school, we asked about bullying. It said, during the past 12 months, have you ever been bullied on school property? These are kids that said yes. 56% said yes, they had been in 2011. That's down to 41.7% in 2013. That's still a lot of incidents that we're seeing there that kids are reporting. We don't see that reported in our disciplinary records. So it's interesting, and one of the things we're going to look at is what's the difference in perceptions between what adults call bullying and what kids think bullying is, because that could be an area and we need to adjust one or the other. Same question in the high school. So again, during the past 12 months, have you ever been bullied on school property? 50.7% in 2011 said yes, they had been. That's down to 34.1% in 2013. So again, we're making huge progress. We really like to see that those numbers drop that much in 2 years. That's incredible. Depression or suicide. We asked a question, during the past 12 months, did you ever feel so sad and hopeless almost every day for 2 weeks or more in a row that you stopped doing some of your usual activities? Now let's break this down a little bit. We all remember being in school. We all remember breaking up with a girlfriend, or scoring badly on a test, or maybe missing that last field goal on the football field. And we've all had times where we felt very sad and hopeless. But did we ever feel that way so much for 2 weeks that we stopped doing our normal activities? This is depression. This is full-blown depression. So in 2011, this is middle school students, 21.4% said, yes, I feel that sad and hopeless that I stopped doing my normal activity for 2 weeks. That's down to 9.3 in 2013. So it's still a pretty high number, and it's something we really need to look at. The green boxes there are, the question was, have you ever created a plan to commit suicide? And this isn't, did you ever think about it? This was, did you ever create a plan to commit suicide? In 2011, it was 11.3% of middle schoolers said yes. In 2013, that's down to 5.4. Again, for me, very scary numbers, but we're heading in the right direction, and we can keep working on it, and we're going to give you some ways to do that coming up in the future. Same question of the high schoolers. So 26.6% in 2011 said that they felt sad and hopeless for 2 weeks. That's down to 19.5 in 2013. 12.8% of Lodi high schoolers said that they actually created a plan to commit suicide. That's down to 6% in 2013. So again, all these numbers moving in the right direction. We got to keep working it. We got to keep seeing what we can do to make those numbers go down. This is a question we ask of middle schoolers. Besides your parents, how many adults would you feel comfortable seeking help from if you had an important question affecting your life? In 2011, 29% said they had 5 or more adults. In 2013, that was up to 32.1. In 2011, 11.4% said they had no adults that they could talk with, and that's down to 6%. So this is an interesting number that we look at because this is kind of the heart of what the Community Action Team exists for. We truly believe, based on research, based on our own knowledge, that kids that have 5 or more adults in their life, setting a good example, showing that they care about them, showing that they're valued, are 50% more successful in life and in future relationships. So we really feel that's important. And when we see these kids that say they have no adults in their life, that is really, really something that we need to work on because they're surrounded by adults, and if they feel like they can't talk with them, then there's something that we need to be doing differently about that. All right, we asked the same questions of high schoolers. In 2011, 27.5% said they had 5 or more adults. In 2013, that number was up to 29.2%. We don't have a 2011 number for 0 adults. That question was missing for some reason. But in 2013, it's almost 10%. So almost 10% of our high schoolers say that they don't have an adult in their life that they can ask an important question of. That's really something that we've got to work on. All right, so this is talking about teachers in the middle school. Do you agree or disagree that your teachers really care about you and give you a lot of encouragement? In 2011, 66% of our middle school students said, yeah, sure. In 2013, that was up to 84%. So way to go, teachers. That's a huge increase to do in 2 years. You guys are really putting some work in, and it shows. The kids are saying that you really encourage them and then support them. In high school, same question. 52.3% said teachers supported them and gave them encouragement. In 2011 and 2013, it was up to 61.7%. So we're good. We're making some progress, and those are really good numbers. We like to see that trend going up. Middle school students, we asked them, do you agree or disagree that you feel like you belong at this school? In 2011, 70% said, yeah, we belong. In 2013, it was up to 84%, so 14% more in 2 years. We got to keep that trend going. That is awesome. That's looking really good. Same question to the high schoolers. Do you agree or disagree that you feel like you belong at this school? In 2011, it was 58.1%. In 2013, and it was 70%. Now remember, all these numbers I'm giving you are specifically for the Lodi School District. So this is our Lodi High School students. 70% of them feel that they believe they belong in the school. So we're making a lot of headway, and those numbers are moving up. Again, a question at the middle school that we asked was, is there at least one teacher or other adult in this school that you can talk to if you have a problem? 72% in 2011 said, yeah, there was someone they could talk to, and in 2013 that number is up to 81%, almost 10%. Same question at the high school. In 2011 is 58.4%. It was up to 62.8%. So again, some good progress being made there. We have a little bit further to go. All right, this is where the gold comes in my book. This is we start comparing our data. We compare the community survey that we gave with the YRBS survey that we gave to the students. Again, these we're looking specifically. Right now, we filtered the results, and we're looking specifically at parents who said they had high school students, and we're looking at students in the high school. So this is specifically for the high school, and we're saying, we asked the question of the parents, how wrong do you think it would be for teens to drink beer, wine, or hard liquor? We asked the students, how wrong do you think your parents would feel it is for teens to drink beer, wine, or hard liquor? So this is amazing. There's 94.5% of parents say that they think it's wrong, but only 77.8% of students say that their parents would say that it's wrong. So again, let me say that. 94.5% of parents say that it's wrong to drink beer, wine, or hard liquor. But only 77.8% of students would say that their parents would say that it's wrong for teens to drink beer, wine, or hard liquor. So what that tells me is that parents are making an effort. They're trying to send the message. They're trying to say this is wrong, but for some reason we're not making the connection with the students, and we're not getting that message across. Here's another example of that. And again, these are just samples. We have a ton of data here, but these are just samples. How would you feel if a teenager was at a party where alcoholic beverages were available for teens to drink? That's what we asked the parents. To the students, we said, how would your parents feel if a teenager was at a party where alcoholic beverages were available for teens to drink? 91% of parents say that it's wrong. Only 58% of the students say that their parents would say that it's wrong. So again, we're not making that connection. As parents, we think we're sending the message, but the students definitely do not seem to be picking up on that. One last example of this, again, this is marijuana. We asked the parents, how wrong do you feel it would be for teens to smoke marijuana? We asked students, how wrong do you think your parents would feel it is for you to smoke marijuana? 97% of parents say that it is wrong, and only 82% of students say that their parents would say that it's wrong. So again, we're not making that connection. This is something we can work on. This is something the Community Action Team is going to put some effort to see how we can help parents make that connection so that not only are we sending the message, but the students are receiving it. All right. Well, normally at this point in the presentation, if I'm doing it live in front of people, I'd be taking questions from you, but since this is a screencast, I don't really have that ability. I do want to let you know a little bit of what we're doing going forward in the future. Again, this is just a sampling of the data that we have available to us. We're still pouring through all the data and pulling out what we think is important. We're working with the school board, with with both the high school and the middle school administration and the teachers. And what we found through this is that there are some of these questions that we'd really like to know a little bit more about. We feel that maybe the question was a little vague, or maybe we just don't understand the question. Bullying is one of those. We see that kids feel that they're being bullied. We don't really see the evidence on the administration side of it that is happening. So we're going to create some focus groups in the schools. We're going to go back to the middle school and the high school, and we're going to take a group of kids, and we're going to ask them a little bit more about that. And we're going to not really ask them about what their experiences are, but what, for instance, how would you define bullying? Because what we feel is happening is that the definition between the administration and between the students and even between parents may not all be the same thing. So we need to get on the same playing field and then re-ask the questions. We're going to also ask kids questions like what makes you feel valued in the community, so that we can work on that. And so we're going to collect that information from our focus groups, and then we're going to meet back together again with administration and the school district and the community members, and we're going to put this information all together and create an action plan for going forward. So if you'd like to take part in that, please visit our webpage at lodiaction.org. Find out when the next meeting's going to be, and please join us. And watch for more of these screencasts. Please let us know if this is something that is valuable to you, and we will continue to do these things. So again, thank you for your patience and for watching, and we hope this was informative for you. I'm Stephen Ricks. Thanks a lot.